I hated these news when I saw them. Like I saw Fabrizio tweet that I'm sure that's a doctored image with him wearing the shirt,
Ah, yes, saw
but
it.
it is imminent. It's something that's going to happen, and I didn't expect this um, until very recently, and that's because when you heard about Haaland, you heard Barcelona, you heard Real Madrid, and I thought I shared this with you at some point that had Cristiano Ronaldo gone to Manchester City or Harry Kane gone to Manchester City, and Man United for me
Mm.
were going to be front runners for Haaland, except for the fact that he was also under the management of the late
Mino
Mino
Raiola.
Raiola,
Mm.
because you would have had a situation where Chelsea have a striker in Lukaku, you would have had City with either Ronaldo or Harry Kane. Benzema is doing wonders at Real Madrid, so how do you fit him with Haaland at the moment? Barcelona don't have the money,
Mm.
and PSG have the front three of Mbappe, Neymar, and Messi. So where do you fit him in there? Which left a team with enough money, with the clout, Manchester United.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's ironic that now the future of like football, which I put in the hands of Mbappe and Haaland, one half of that now is with Manchester City. So you give a weapon like that to Pep Guardiola and to a team that for a living they just fashion out chances.
To quote Sir Alex Ferguson, they definitely sold a virus to the mob because they're gonna decimate the league. There's no look. Let's have a bit of hope because football's still competitive and unpredictable, but it looks very scary. Quick question though: do you think they're better off with Haaland than Harry Kane in that City setup?
That's yes.
You think so? Yeah.
Um, because the thing with Kane, right? I think depending on who he plays for, somewhat you have to figure out how you want to play him because he's different for Spurs as he is for England.
Mm.
Potent for both, and also the fact that like Haaland is a young 20 something. He's like
Yeah.
22 if I'm not mistaken. So you can still very much mold him in the way that you want to mold him as Pep Guardiola. You can do so much with him, and what you need from him is not that much. In
Mm.
actual fact, you just need him to score goals. And the thing that he does very brilliantly, even in his young career up to this point, he puts the ball in the back of the net. And also the fact that you get him at that age and you get him for half the price Harry Kane was going to cost, because Levy was not going to be budged, and if he even if he did sell, he was going to sell at that price because there is English tax moving between one team in the league to another. Whereas with Haaland, you get him for 75, and the floor is high.
Yeah.
Like the ceiling we know with Haaland is high, but the floor is high. The chances of him failing are very minuscule because of the price, because of the age, because of what we've seen from the player,
Mm.
even up to this point.
You know what I'm secretly hoping for? That, as is tradition, German players struggle when they come to the Premier League for whatever reason. Either they take time to adjust or they're not at their ultimate best as they were in the Bundesliga because Timo Werner was tearing it up. He comes to Chelsea and nothing. It's been 2 seasons now, nothing. City is different, but I mean, City signed Jack Grealish and they couldn't get a tune out of him, if I could say that, because they play a completely different style of football to what Jack is used to. I hope he struggles. And still be competitive at that point. You
I
know,
hope he struggles as well.
yeah, I hope he struggles because if he hits the ground running, that says a lot about Thomas Tuchel and his ability to use Werner, Frank Lampard and his ability to use Werner. Because what we saw from Werner was glimpses that he's running into the spaces, he's hardworking, he's quick, he's got all the tools, but the ball's just not hitting the back of the net for whatever reason. And whenever he is offside, it's a VAR call. So his timing of the game as well is still quite good, but there are no goals. Lukaku was tearing it up in Serie A. He comes, there are no goals. So if Haaland can come through at City, and I know they've got different players, a different system altogether, a different coach, and he hits the ground running, we basically have no counter. We're relying on Mo Salah and them again to stop them.
It's the easiest place to score goals, though,
True.
Manchester City.
Sterling.
And you hope he struggles. It's hard to see how he does struggle, though. Also because of what you've seen from him. Like when he was at Salzburg, you would have maybe made the argument that, okay, it's a lower league. But then you see him in the Champions League. You see him do it at Anfield. And you're like, okay,
Hmm.
maybe he is a little special. Then he moves on that season to Dortmund. And yes, the Bundesliga is an easier league to score goals in. But then he does it. You know,
Mm.
even when he's struggling with injury, when he comes back, he's just the same guy that you last saw when he was on the pitch. That's the only caveat, though. The injuries, because he has had some injuries, and we know the Premier League is a physical league. And can you do it on a cold night in Stoke? It's no longer Stoke, but like that is the question, you know.
It's Brighton now.
But everything I've seen of this kid, like he is big, he is fast, like nothing. He has a leap, like a basketball player, and he is strong, and he has this hunger, and he's got this mentality. When he speaks, he sounds like a straight up killer. Like
Yeah,
he
sounds
cares
worried,
for
yeah.
nothing but to make you feel pain if you are his opponent, whether on the field or the opposition fans. So, man, it does not look good. It does not look good. I feel like, hoping he doesn't hit the ground running is us clutching at straws.
True.
Because if he just goes there and he does a goal a game ratio as he's done for his career, then there's nothing to talk about.